Vicky Alessio, a divorced British mother of two, meets Steve Blackburn, an American married man, while sharing a taxi in London. Steve is attracted to Vicky and invites her to tea, then lunch, and eventually suggests they have sex. Vicky agrees but expresses her desire to have uncomplicated sex in a sunny location. Steve arranges a trip to Malaga, Spain. Their plans are disrupted when Steve's wife, Gloria, unexpectedly shows up. To hide their affair, Steve pretends that Vicky is his mother. He cancels the plane tickets he had arranged for his family and encounters his friend Walter Menkes, a movie producer, at the airport. Steve, unable to admit that he is with Vicky, spends the flight next to Walter while Vicky sits elsewhere. Upon arriving in Malaga, Steve gives the last decent rental car to Walter to get rid of him. He ends up driving an Italian car with an awkward clutch, causing discomfort and annoyance to Vicky. They struggle up several flights of stairs to reach their hotel room. Their first night together becomes awkward as they argue about their preferences during sex. Steve injures his back, requiring medical attention and sleep. In the morning, Vicky encounters an American woman named Patty but declines her invitation to dinner. Steve wakes up to find Vicky sunbathing on the balcony and they finally have sex. Steve becomes disappointed when Vicky does not show enthusiasm afterward, leading to anger and tension between them. During a golf game, Vicky takes offense at Steve's competitive nature against a local boy. The tension continues to mount, and Vicky decides to have dinner with Patty while Steve arranges dinner with Walter. To their surprise, Vicky discovers that Patty is Walter's wife, leading to an uncomfortable dinner for the four of them. After an argument in their hotel room, Steve and Vicky decide to return to London. At the airport, they realize that the last two plane tickets have been sold. Frustrated, they return to the hotel room and start attacking each other playfully. The situation turns humorous, and their relationship begins to blossom. Walter and Patty notice the developing relationship between Steve and Vicky. Walter shares his own experience of a holiday romance and warns Steve that it won't work out. Despite this, Steve expresses his desire to continue seeing Vicky when they return to London. They rent a secret flat together, concealing their affair. As their relationship progresses, it becomes more complicated. Vicky puts in a lot of effort to be with Steve, but he often disappoints her. Steve rushes off after sex without realizing that Vicky has prepared a lavish meal for him. Vicky tries to seek companionship with her gay coworker, but he is unavailable. Steve feels guilty and brings flowers to Vicky, only to leave without saying a word. The tension between them grows, and Steve's coworkers become aware of something going on. Steve tries to meet Vicky in the evening but forgets that he has plans with his wife. When his wife calls, Steve is unable to reach Vicky, and Vicky sees Steve and Gloria together at the theater. She feels betrayed and confronts Steve when he finally arrives at their flat. The next morning, Steve sends a telegram to end their relationship but changes his mind and rushes to the flat. But Vicky has already received the telegram and begins packing to leave. As Steve arrives, he sees Vicky standing at a bus stop. Despite his efforts to get her attention, Vicky leaves in a taxi that another man had hailed. She asks the man if he is married, and upon his affirmative response, she walks away, leaving the taxi for him. The story concludes with Vicky moving on from the failed affair and finding a new direction in her life.